This morning you find me back at a charge point again. I have driven this BYD Sealion for a whole week. It's Friday, and this is the first time I've charged it. The range in this car is rather high, over 400 kilometers. I put it on at 35% left, and I have been from Dublin to Portlaoise, from Portlaoise, St. James's Hospital, home again, back to St. James's Hospital, home again. Yesterday I took the train for my chemo treatment. Often quite tired of getting chemo, so I just took the train home. That was nice, but much more expensive than this. Way more expensive than driving this up, not including parking, depending on where you're parking. But this is a Sealion 7 from BYD with its main batteries, very stable. It's currently getting the max output that this ECO charger can do at 75 kilowatts. I think it's pulling about 72, the max 75, but it has been pulling 72 since I plugged it in. There's no drop off. That's important to remember. Very important to remember on the car you're about to buy if you buy an electric, is the drop off. They can promise 200-300 kilowatts, but it only lasts 10 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. This charges at the max 75 for the whole time you're charging. So I will only be here, even though it's a big battery, 1 hour. That's it. I'm done. So I'm going into my wonderful super value up in the main square here. You want some real good food, hot food, a jelly powder, real good one. The center of Portlaoise, there is a super value, and it's excellent. Actually, there's no parking at all. So you park here and literally walk to it over there. And if you really want to, you take the train to the train station that's right here, 50 feet from here. Or up there, you can go to the Odeon Cinema, which is about 100 meters from here. But this charge station's in a primo location. Anyway, let's talk more about the car. So as you see here, it's got pop-out handles. I don't normally like pop-out handles, because sometimes when it freezes, that becomes a problem when you walk around. Ergo Tesla, which has always been a problem. But in this, there's a gap, an air gap on the outside. Very unlikely it's going to freeze over entirely. But I haven't been actually test in winter. Some information for you. The top speed of this car is 215 kilometers per hour. The max output is 230 kilowatts. So, kilowatts, is that a word? But anyway, in 6.7 is 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, and the lifting range claimed WLTP is 482. It might actually go a bit further in this car. I think 482 sounds a bit like, they're underestimating that. The volume of the boot is 520 litres, which seems reasonable. That feels like they're measuring that in boxes rather than pouring water in. Sometimes they do litres by pouring water in and filling it to the roof how much water would fit. But who the hell carries all water in the boot, right? You want to carry all the boxy shit. The battery type is BYD Blade, of course, currently saying the best kind of batteries in the world. That's what I hear all the time. And it's an 82.5 kilowatt hour battery. It'll be 80 usable, give or take. Irrelevant learning, because the range of this, if it's 482, that is from coast to coast about 4 times without charging. You'll be fine. Range is not an issue. What is an issue, however, is the cost of charging. We spoke about this before on this channel. If you've been following along, you know how much an EV doubter I can be when it comes to the cost associated with electric cars, okay? Because they're always heralded as if they're going to be cheaper to run, cheaper to service, cheaper to maintain. That's what they're always done, okay? That's what we keep on shunning out those ideas. But in actual fact, if you were to charge this at this charge point all the time, whenever you need a charge, you will spend more on electricity than you will on petrol or diesel. It's very expensive. I honestly have a deal where you charge it 50 cents per kilowatt or something, but you pay a subscription fee. Same for ESB. They're 72 or 75 cents a kilowatt. So if you're taking a long drive, and a good friend of mine is an EV enthusiast, he charges at home from solar panels, so he knows well on his charging. But he drove to Belfast recently in his electric Volvo, and that day out absolutely destroyed his month's fuel economy at home, because he spent more on going out, on going out and charging at ESB and Ionity, some place in Belfast, driving that down. He spent more on those charges than he would in a week at home. Now, if you have an electric car and you charge at home on any rate, doesn't matter whether it's net rate, day rate, solar panels, you will save money over petrol and diesel. But if you're charging at home and out, once a week, twice a week out, you're going to spend more. If you're charging out 3 times a year, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay? I let myself, you have a home charger, you go off out in there, you charge once out there, that happens once every 2 or 3 months. That's like going out and buy yourself a fancy coffee for £8 once a month. It's not going to break the bank, you know. But you've got to factor it into your costs. They're not always cheaper to service. Sometimes services are costing €200 and €300 for nothing more than plugging in a meter and checking to make sure the car is running properly. An essential check, not to make that, but sometimes those checks are really expensive. Tires, EV and dedicated tires are often much more expensive than generic tires. You will possibly use more tires depending on the kind of driving you're doing. These are all costs. If we're going to make the argument cost of using an electric car, you need to factor those in as well. Now, it's a big car. If you don't like big cars, sales don't say you're not liking big cars. Sales say you're all buying SUVs. And this is as big as, I think the SUVs in the market at the moment. But this is very easy to drive, very light steering, very easy to maneuver and park. It's kind of one pedal, it's not one pedal end, but it's kind of resistance when you brake, which is adjustable. Clearly not a fully licensed driver. The way she's driving, the way she's hesitant, shuffling the wheel, so clear, and yet there's no markings on the car to say one way or the other. Weird, huh? But we're going to spin up along here. This is a one-way street. The middle of Port East leads you up to the Midland Park Hotel. One of the few hotels in the country, or in the town. Will still be afternoon day. Some people are dressed up beautifully. The colors are fantastic. This is, without doubt, one of the most comfortable cars I've driven around in forever. Like, it's really comfy to drive, you know? Hope this truck is nice to me now. Oh, it is. Thanks, man. And let me out with any junction there, that truck. So, this is mostly Port East now, traffic. To put it in context, it's Friday at 9:54, like 5 to 10 in the morning on a Friday. Who knows where all these people are going? Mostly private cars. I don't know where they're all going, anyway. It's like this in Port East most of the time now, with traffic-wise. So, being an electric car actually makes an awful lot of sense. It really does. I mean, let's not mess about now. I'm not really paying any money now to move them out. If I charge at home, I didn't, I charged it easy ago. But if I charge at home, I probably will spend about 15 to 20 euro charging this up at home. And that's going to give me 455 kilometers, says there. And in traffic like this, if I'm always stuck in traffic, I want to know less, or more, sorry, more. I will do more range than 455 because I use next to nothing to sit here. Moving about 1 or 2 kilometers an hour, moving forward 2 feet, use nothing. Traffic, or at least constant. We're getting used to it. We're not fully used to it, but we're getting used to it. I'm taking out of the traffic now, away from the traffic. One takes a second. It's only here in the town centre where all the roundabouts, pedestrian crossings and one-way streets are that there's traffic. Mostly, it's lazy people trying to get near the shop, like Super Value or down the main street to one of the cafes or, looking for somewhere to stop and park. We have a fair bit of parking, not a lot, but enough. We do have very cantankerous at times parking attendants. Really cantankerous. Like pressing the I'm recording you button, just walking up to you going, what's wrong with you? I don't know, whatever. This has active cruise control. You press that.
ACC activate.
And she says ACC activate. Because you can't read active. I don't know why. Had a sensitivity too. Activate. If you deactivate.
ICC deactivate.
ICC deactivate. Interesting. I don't think English is her first language. And that's okay. That's alright. We understand what it means. You can actually turn her off. She doesn't talk. Sometimes you just want to beep and not anyone talking. People, very quiet and composed people. It's an incredible car. Certainly worth the money, I think, that you pay for BYD. She doesn't talk when you Zoom. Certainly worth the money with software updates, everything else going to happen. BYD own the largest fleet of car transport in the world, the largest car transport in the world. We're not going to be short of BYD cars, I don't think. And currently, I think there's 3 BYD dealers in the country. I might be wrong, there might be more. There's at least 3, anyway. There's one in Dublin, we made him working actually. And they're doing very well. People are coming in and buying a car. I'm very happy, of course, that I would buy a BYD as well. I can't currently afford a new car. Oh, open the roof. There's a glass panoramic roof in there. You want to add some daylight to your life. Get some extra vitamin D. Although, you probably won't get any vitamin D from the glass sunroof. Why do I say that? Because it's UV coated, which means you leave it open when the sun is shining, you won't get sunburn. Now, nice steady 50. Steady. Oh, here's 60 here, actually, sorry. Press that up twice. This is 60 over there or so. There's one of Port Nation's brand new buses. Brand new buses. That is our bus service that circulates through the town, goes up and down to the main streets. Very affordable, a couple of quid. Use your leaf card on if you want. We also have Volt, the bike hire Volt. You can hire a bicycle around the town. Send you a couple of quid as well. 10 per minute they are. So that varies. There's one down here, you hire a Volt bike from here, look. Right there, it's 2 of them sitting there. Just tap your phone and off you cycle. A very modern town on some of our things, all of the buses are diesel, not electric. I'm not sure why they did that. 3 electric buses around. Anyway, that system might expand. Another bus stop there, all around. It goes all around. Anyway, enough about building up Port East as well. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the BYD Sealion 7 review from your friendly neighbourhood cancer patient motoring journalist who got chemotherapy yesterday. It's all going well. My tumour has reduced to a more manageable size where it is now. I don't know whether it's reducing at a pace that I'm going to say I'm in remission or I'm being cured. There is a meeting coming up there's one lot of emphasis on. So it's all of the disciplines come together for a meeting, and I'm going to be a topic in that. So John Ed from Northfax, Mr. O'Connell is really Colin will be there, and Dr. Grant, and all of the disciplines will be around to see if they can actually help me and do what I want to do. But fingers crossed, I will be in good shape in the coming future. Right now, I want to get back to work. I'm anxious to do something. My energy's up, full of steroids, I'm full of chemotherapy, and I lost my hair, my eyebrows, my hair's falling out. I might say that. But I don't care. I don't care. I'm on the mend, that's all that matters. So thank you for watching and subscribing. If you can support my passion journey, there are a list of links down below. I'd love if you click one of them. Everything from Patreon to GoFundMe and all of them are right there. But thanks for watching. Look after yourself. Until the next time, see you on the far side.